All right, y'all, fly, Eagles, fly. Your boy Angry Murf about to come out, right? Whoa, pause. Gotta pause that, right? Listen, there's a growing sentiment around the Philadelphia Eagles landscape that my boy Nakobe Dean won't be the answer at a linebacker spot, which is absolutely ludicrous to me. Nakobe Dean is that dude, and he will show you as soon as this season. The sentiment is not derived from his playing ability, right? To me, his talent is undeniable there. If you understand this position like I understand this position, right? Remember, linebacker, safety, running back, that's my specialty, right? These are the positions that I played there. I understand, or I feel like I understand as good as anybody out there, especially in this particular landscape, right? Nakobe Dean is somebody who I've followed since he was in high school. I first did my first drawing on him, I believe like 2019, he was in high school, in a comparison video with another linebacker who was coming out of high school at that time, right? Fast forward 4 years later, he's playing for my Eagles. That's hard, right? So covering him all throughout college, right, with Georgia being the primary cover on this channel. I've seen every snap Nakobe Dean took in college, have countless film studies on that Georgia defense over the past 3 years that he was in it. And then, of course, watching him there, I don't know what people are talking about, right? This is derived from his size or lack thereof, right? Pause. Got to pause that too. Listen, I'm going to be reacting to a video from a fellow content creator here, right, which is out of my range, right? That's abnormal for me, right? I don't even like to mention anybody up on this channel. I don't like people to be mentioned up on the channel in the comment section because I'm not trying to help anybody eat, right, unless I really know you and I feel like you're a real football head. So I feel like this guy's actually a real football head here. He just has a misguided opinion. We're all entitled to our opinion, and they're just opinions. Only way we'll know is over time, and we'll see what Nakobe Dean is about there, but we shall see it. But you guys have to tell me what you think about this right here. Let's get to it.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.
The rest of those guys, we'll see. I mean, again, not fair to say anything about Dean yet, but we'll see. I mean, if he plays. I don't know how you don't think that's a concern if a guy's missing time who didn't see the field last year. And because he was on a chalkboard all offseason, you think that's good enough to win in the NFC East. How ignorant. If that guy has 70 tackles this year, I'll be stunned. You're trying to replace a linebacker that had 100 solo. And because he's no longer in Philly, he sucks.
All right, so as you can see, this is Dan Sileo or Sileo. I apologize if I mispronounce his name. I've never heard of this cat prior to this particular video here that I ran across. But I will say this. I could rock with a cat like this because I can see that he's pragmatic in his approach, right? A lot of you guys always be like, oh, you should collaborate with, and you mention some random dude or something like that. And I check the cat out, and it's like, this is insane, and this is this and that. Those are like fanboys, right? I can tell that this cat is a real football head, and he's thought out his shit, right? He's just not willy-nilly doing some shit. So I can respect that, right? Because that's how I operate. You may not like all the shit that I say. It may go against the grain and everything, but you can tell that I put my actual thoughts into this. I put a ton of time and a ton of experience, and I have a ton of experience into some of these conclusions that I come to, right? So he's talking about, right, first he starts out by saying he doesn't think it's fair to judge Nakobe Dean yet, right? Then he starts judging Nakobe Dean, right? He says he'll be shocked if he had 70 tackles this year. He was saying it's kind of ignorant to think that a cat with that little of experience who's injured right now, right, or hurt right now, with the ankle injury and all that, is missing valuable time and all this and that's not a big deal, right? Of course it's a big deal, which is why they went out and got Miles Jack and Zach Cunningham, right? So I don't know if it was in that clip, but he gave props to the Miles Jack signing, right? Just like I did with that film study there when everybody's coming out saying, oh, Miles Jack sucks and this and that. Those are people who just go by Twitter or go by Facebook or social media, which I don't do. I don't give a fuck about nobody else's opinion in this sport, right? At least 99.9% of the time. On this one right here, I got to react because I feel strongly about Nakobe Dean, right? And he was giving props to TJ Edwards, who I thought was a very good inside linebacker, right? One of those unheralded types that went on to do his thing, right? Over 100 solo tackles or at 100 solo tackles. That's a big deal, right? A lot of them were of the, I won't say non-impactful variety, because did not have that good of a run defense, in my opinion, last year, right? That's something that can improve this year. But a lot of that starts up front. So, no, let's keep going right here.
Okay? Why do you think they're playing more forefront? Let's see if you have any intelligence. Less linebackers on the field, and the guards are covered, and you're only taking one guy on, the center, who's usually the undersized guy in the building. Doesn't it make sense? Of course not. See, when you got two defensive tackles covering the two giant guards, your Mike only has to look at a guy that's 6'3" like Jason Kelce, 300 pounds, instead of taking on a guard that's 385 pounds or 360 and 6'6". Shrimpy Dean won't be able to see, let alone in the backfield, but he'll be gobbled up by traffic.
All right, so there was some LOL in that one, right? He said Shrimpy Dean. Shrimpy Dean, right? That guy is 5'11", 230 pounds. Come on, Jack, it's 2023. I understand what he's saying, right? Because I'm a bit old school in myself, right? But I come from more of this era, right? Or at least closer to this era, right? I'm used to guys back in the day with the 250, 260-pound linebackers, 6'3", 6'4", like that. Guess what? Those days are over. A cat like Shaquille Leonard can play in the NFL. He's one of the thinnest guys I think I've ever seen in person play at an off-ball linebacker. Out there, straight up, man, he looks like a shooting guard or one of these skinny-ass point guards or something like that. I think he's listed at like 6'3", 228, 229 pounds, and he's nasty. Tackling machine, physical as all get out. You know why? Because there's very few teams running these power schemes, right? These gap schemes and all that. Most of this shit is zone-based, right? So if you're a cat 5'11", 230 pounds, if you're going to buy a height-weight ratio, right, 10 pounds for every inch of height, his frame is thicker than a Shaquille Leonard, right? He's the same weight as Shaquille Leonard, but he's shorter. He's stockier, right? He's fine. Absolutely fine in that regard there. Fred Warner and these guys, they're like 230 pounds, 6'2", and all this. These guys look like big wide receivers. They are. A.J. Brown is like 6'1", 6'2", 230 pounds. And these guys are playing off-ball linebacker. Times have changed, Jack. That's just the deal right there. You got to adjust your thinking. I had to do this shit too, because I'm always like, wow. Like, I was trying to be 250-something pounds playing it, right? At 5'11", straight up. So I could kind of see where Nakobe, maybe that's why I like Nakobe Dean, right? Because I was doing the thing myself there, right? But that was moving from the safety position, which I'm sure probably Nakobe Dean did as well. Or he moved from running back. I think he actually, he played running back in high school. Usually that's the transition there. Most guys who are linebackers, you started off at the running back position, right? That's how they tried to do it back in the day. When the game was coming more speed-based instead of power-based, they would flip running backs and make them linebackers because they could just run a little bit better there, right? So that's one of the deals right there. And he started talking this scheme talk, right? That's my specialty, right? I'm pretty sure this guy knows what he's talking about as well, right? I can tell. Well, I'm guessing that he's has a live stream going on because it looks like he was answering questions, right? He had some goofball in there talking about, I think he asked the difference between the 3-4 or 4-3 or a four-man front and why they're running from an even to an odd front. And one of the guys said because there are less linebackers on the field in an even front. The fuck out of here. There are more linebackers on the field. If we're talking about the off-ball linebacker position, there will be 3 linebackers in your base deal. I know a lot of teams run nickels, so that will be 2 linebackers, but in your base alignment, there's 3 linebackers, right? Sam, Mike, Will, right? Just throwing out the rudimentary version of that. In an odd front, 2 of your linebackers are tethered to the line of scrimmage as edge players. Then there are 2 off ball. So he's right. Those 2 off ball guys are going to normally have your responsibility from that B gap, depending on the call, maybe even some A gap responsibilities. But they will see guards, no doubt about that. But the LOL was he said that guards are like 380 pounds. What? Dog, 2023 zone schemes running, right? You want those big ass guards, you pulling them big bastards right there back in the day trying to snot bubble and rearrange spines and shit like that and get guys with these colon blows. That shit is over with. Zone schemes, this shit is finesse as hell. That's why these guys are able to be a Shaquille Leonard and work against area blocking, right? Guys run into it. They're blocking real estate more than they're blocking the man when you're running a lot of these stretch zone schemes. Then it's about fitting your gaps or refitting your gaps because your gaps have moved there. It's about your quickness. It's about your technique. It's about your ability to diagnose there, be able to be patient, work inside shoulder force, and all that deal right there. That's what Nakobe Dean is about, right? He goes on to say that he says something to the effect that how long will Nakobe Dean hold up, or can he work against big guards and big lineback and big running backs and stuff like that? Well, let's check this out. All right, so I want you to check this out. Now, I've already done these clips before, right? I'll attach that Nakobe Dean film study at the end of this one right here in the end card, so you can see that. But I just remember this particular clip right here because it's him working off of a comboing, right? A comboing guard, right? So you get the guard comboing off of Fletch right here, and he's working his way up to Nakobe Dean. Dean stacks walls and discards, and then makes a tackle on the biggest back in all of football, damn near with one hand, right? So now, not to say that obviously one play would mean the entire season or anything like that, but you get what I'm saying, right? In this regard right here. You can see it, roll it through, bang. Oh, kept that outside arm free. Inside shoulder force, kept that outside arm free. Look at him right on his aiming point. So, right, he has the A gap right here, and you can see he had also said something in there about make sure you go and check out his video, subscribe and all that, right? You know what I'm saying? There's no malice here or anything of the sort. I'm just keeping it a buck right here talking about that. He said something about he needs to be in the outside linebacker or this and that. Well, in a 3-4, right, an odd front base defense, he could be the weak side inside linebacker. Doesn't matter. You see him right here. He's actually playing next to TJ Edwards. So he showed that he can do that. But you will see here, we follow this. Look at this. Look at his aiming point. He's working that A gap. That's his. He has to show presence in that A gap and then work from outside in there. You can see him square up the defender. He shows presence in that gap. You see right there. He's at the presence right there in that particular gap right there, holding strong. Walls, right? Shrugs him up, right? Stretches him out like Mr. Fantastic. Gets that outside arm free. And look at that. One arm on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry fertilizes Derrick Henry, fertilizes himself. Everybody fertilized right there. Come on, Jack. This is what this dude was doing at the University of Georgia. This shit is not foreign to him. All right, one of the things we got to think about that even in an odd front defense, it's not like the old school where it was a 0 technique and then like 2-5 techniques, and then you had your edge outside linebackers there, right? They'll align it with someone more shaded. They'll put a 3 technique in there. They have ways to tie up blockers, period. So this isn't an odd front or anything like that, but you can run your odd front a lot like this, right? If you put in a tilted nose, or you can allow somebody to play more of a 2-eye, right, and really get the attention. You start to get those doubles at the point of attack like this right here. You get it right here. Nakobe Dean eat that alive, right? He eat that for breakfast, right? Look at this. Too easy for him because he's going diagnose. The guy's playing with a football brain very much unparalleled, right? Not all your elite linebackers have a brain like Nakobe Dean. There's a reason why they would try to put that man with a dot on his helmet in his second year with only 36 snaps or whatever my guy said, right? You see right there? Split the difference. It's too easy for him. Split the difference. You got that double at the point of attack right there. And then look, my man still keeping his inside shoulder force. He's making tackles with one freaking arm. getting guys on the ground. These are NFL linebackers. This isn't college film, right? He's making plays like that in the very little time. That's probably why they did have the confidence to let a TJ Edwards walk or something like that. You know what I mean?
You're not going to put a shrimp backer in there like Dean over a 365. Hey, how about this? Let's just do that. Let me ask you a comment. Watch this. You want to see how stupid people get? This is wonderful. You sound like dumbass Micah Parsons, some of you. Okay. How many weeks do you think Nakobe Dean could take on players like Landon Dickerson and play 91% of the plays at the mic? How many games do you think he could play in a row? He can't even get through the first week of practice in shorts and helmets.
It said a shrimp backer. A shrimp backer. See, I think this was the joint right here that got me to where I was like, I don't know. I'm still blacking out. I can't even believe I'm doing this right now. I blacked out. And next thing you know, I'm waking up right now, and I'm already got a lot of this video done because I was just incensed. Listen, when you're behind this microphone, right, and you got a little bit of public clout, right, on a platform like YouTube where you can draw thousands of viewers, you're going to influence people. I know this all too well, baby. I'm the Underground King. Your boy Jersey Murf here, been doing it for a minute, right? Even way before I was on YouTube working at SB Nation, Bleacher Report, and all this, that, right? People are going to fall in line with what you say, and they'll run with it. That's why cats were coming up on this channel talking about Nakobe Dean being small and shit. A shrimp backer? Come on, man. People start to run with those type of narratives, man. You're not even giving this cat a chance. He's 5'11", 230. You know what I'm saying? Like, he reminds me of guys previously. We had a cat here before, Michael Kendricks, very much along the same deal as him. Even his brother, Eric Kendricks, I forget which one is which. I think Michael was here, and Eric. These guys are like 5'11", 6 feet, 230-something pounds. Is it the height? Because football is not basketball. Height has never been a determining factor, whether it be at the running back position, even the receiver position. You can like big receivers, right? Pause. 6'4", 6'5" receivers, but that doesn't mean a 5'10" receiver can't dominate as we see in the NFL with Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. You know what I mean? Or even wait with Devontae Smith and some of these guys, Jerry Jeudy and these dudes be out here balling. It's come in all shapes and sizes. That has nothing to do with anything, right? To a certain degree, there's a point of diminishing returns on certain things, but you can't be outlandish about it, right? Landon Dickerson weighs about he weighs about 330 pounds. But you can play in the NFL with another guard like Cam Jurgens. What's Cam weighing? Cam might not weigh 300 pounds. And they'll play him at a guard because times are changing. He's not a shrimp backer. He's an inch or two shorter than most backers, and his frame is as thick as most of the elite backers in the here. Maybe not a DeMario Davis, right? He's a little bigger. But almost all these other cats coming in, they all around 230 pounds, right? I said that before. I had to wrap my brain around it as well, and I'm thinking to myself, man, people aren't going to be able to stop the run anymore because they got these little-ass linebackers, right? And I'm talking about at the college level, right? I'm talking about cats 210 pounds coming into college playing off-ball linebacker. This dude's 230. He came into college at 220, 230. He's fine. Not a shrimp. You can't say that type of stuff and have people running with it. All right, that's my only point right there. We shall see how it plays out, though. It's just an opinion of mine right there. I happen to think highly of Nakobe Dean, as you've seen throughout the years here on this channel, and I'm backing that man up to be very, very good, right? So the additions of Miles Jack and all these guys, it is what it is on that front. You needed depth anyway. To me, that says more about a guy like Morrow than it does Dean. You know what I mean? It may say more about a Christian Ellis than it says about Dean, because if Dean's healthy, I could definitely see him playing next to Miles Jack, just like he was playing next to TJ Edwards in that Tennessee Titans game. It is what it is, baby. You can have two off-ball linebackers who are more of the athletic type, maybe more of the average-sized backer types, right? And it be what it is in this day and age of zone schemes and faulty technique and, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of stuff from everybody out there. The game has changed. It was a much more technique-based oriented thing back in the day. these days cats are getting by off the skin of their teeth. They're getting by off athleticism and stuff like that. So cat like Nakobe Dean has the athleticism, he has the football intelligence, and he has the game. But we shall see, all right? But, hey, that's just my thoughts on that, man. Much love to Sileo, however you pronounce that, all right? So nothing to it but to do it, all right? But your boy Jersey Murf, as always, make sure you tip your waiter. You know I be serving that hibachi, baby. And make sure you tell a friend that this is where you get the best coverage of football, period, but definitely the best Eagles coverage, you know what I'm saying, now that I've joined the fray out here, all right? Salute.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.